I know, we are still in the middle of summer, but now's a really good time to start checking in with your kids. But they already probably have some anxiety about heading back into the classroom. I know I did when I was a kid. So here to help navigate that conversation is love and emotional healing coach, one of our favorites, Rebeccah Silence. Hi.
Hello, Tori. This is such an important conversation.
It really is. I'm excited and I love having you here. I think you really teach a lot. So for a big event like the first day of school, man, I just got like chills because that was a big event.
Yeah.
How early can anxiety show up and what does it look like?
Yeah, it can show up anytime. That's the thing about anxiety, right? We don't see it coming. But in the summer, when there's a little more downtime and time alone with ourselves, kids can start to get scared about back to school as early as now.
Okay, yeah, because if there's a lull, you're gonna feel that.
Yeah, because we feel the anxiety because we're safe enough to heal it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
We think it's a sign something's wrong, but it's really a sign we're ready to heal, we're ready to move forward, and we're ready to grow.
I like that switch. What does it look like? Like, tell me what a kid with anxiety about school would look like.
Yeah, so often we don't realize as parents, at about 5th grade, kids don't care anymore about fitting in with us. They're hyper focused on fitting in with their peers.
I was.
So that's the #1 anxiety trigger.
Got it.
Is, are my friends gonna keep me in the friend group? Are they gonna reject me? Are they gonna abandon me?
Yeah.
Am I fitting in is so important. And the problem with that is we don't want our kids thinking about who do I need to be to fit in.
100%.
We want our kids knowing who they are
and
knowing how to stay true to themselves. That's the important teaching moment.
I got it. Which I'm still having trouble with.
Absolutely.
It doesn't go away that much.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the home environment.
Yes.
Parents, guardians, how can they create impact with like the home environment?
Yeah, well, because at home, it impacts everything. You're not as good of an actor or an actress as you think you are with your kids. If you have financial worries, your kids are picking up on it.
They know it.
If the marriage is in trouble, your kids are picking up on it. So what most couples do is they recreate how their childhood felt as adults, right?
Totally.
I've been doing this work since 2002 as a trained therapist and master coach, and I see it all the time. So your job as parents is to heal and be emotionally regulated so your kids can figure out who they are and how to navigate their emotions instead of being worried about triggering you.
It's not about you. It's about them.
No, I create healed parents so kids can figure out who they are, not be who they're expected to be.
That's amazing, because later in life, they'd had all this trauma before. Now it's like they're stable. I love that. Some parents can find it hard, right, and challenging to start that conversation, because you're like, you don't want to put it on edge, you don't want to be too much.
Yeah.
What would you suggest to start it?
Okay, so here's how I want you to start your conversation about back to school with your kids. I want you to ask them, how do you want the school year to feel? Okay, start with that.
Okay.
How do you want to feel at school?
Got it.
And then you really want to pay attention to your reactions. All right, just side note, because your kids don't want to upset you and they want to give you the right answer.
And they don't want to lie.
Right,
you know what I mean?
but we want your kids coming to you.
Yeah.
So the second 2 questions are, all right, what is going to be your #1 challenge? And what is going to make you proud of yourself?
Oh, wow.
Okay, so how do you want to feel? What is your #1 challenge going to be at school? And how can we get ahead of it, right? And then really focusing on what would make you proud of yourself this school year. Start having those conversations because you want your kids to come to you.
Yeah, you want them to trust you.
Yes.
I also like how you're like, instead of what would be the biggest problem, the word challenge.
Yes.
Something to overcome, something to be proud of. It's,
Right.
vocabulary matters when you're
Oh
doing
my
that.
gosh, right, and the energy of it matters.
Yes.
And if we're talking about anxiety, our kids don't know how to regulate their emotions and they don't know how to have self-worth.
Yeah.
And we want your kids going into school unshakably whole and confident and knowing who they are and knowing they can navigate their emotions.
Yeah.
And we don't want them focused on fitting in at their own expense.
Which is what
we want them fitting in with themselves.
I really needed you, okay? I really could have, and I need you now, as always.
Here I am.
Here's the big one, okay? How can we prepare our kids emotionally for
Yes.
school. Like we can do challenges and like what you're wearing and how to, but like
Yes.
emotions are different.
Absolutely. So I want you to follow me on Instagram at Rebeccah Silence and DM me CPR because I will gift you a free masterclass, emotional CPR, to learn how to regulate your own emotions and to learn more about how to talk to your kids about regulating theirs. Heading back to school, we don't want our kids afraid of how they feel, what they want, or what they need. And so many of our kids are already believing
That's
that
all
too
they think
much.
about, yeah.
Right, and they don't know how to talk about it, right? I just took my 11-year-old to Spain with 20 other kids, and she's talking to the kids about here's what I want, here's what I need, here's how I feel, and the kids are like, wait a minute, this is okay to talk about?
Wow.
And absolutely, because otherwise you're withholding. You're holding it all in.
Yeah, and it's like tumbling around in your brain.
Yes, so we want them to know it's okay and very human of them to have feelings, to have wants, to have needs. And we want to go beyond just how do I fit in or how do I not get in trouble?
Sense of self, even at that
Yes.
age, is huge.
Yes.
And the way the parent teaches her
Yes.
is how to do it. You're incredible.
Thank you.
I hope this really helped a lot of people, and you can start having that now. Continue the conversation. Connect with Rebeccah, as she said, by following her on social media. Her handle is at Rebeccah Silence, or you can find her online. It's called theunsilentwoman.com. While you're there, you got to check out her book. It's phenomenal. Coming Back to Life. You are a joy, and you are helpful to so many of our viewers. I mean it. Thank you.